I'm joined for one last time in 2013 by the general manager of the Albany Panthers, Will Carter, and we're here to wrap up the 2013 season, and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And obviously to close out the regular season, and you lost to Lehigh Valley in the closing seconds and snapped the 15-game losing streak at home, but did bounce back to win at Columbus the following week. Win at home over Columbus, rather, to close out the regular season, and then you took some time off, and then on Monday, July 1st, your season ended with a 61-46 loss to the Alabama Hammers. So obviously, and in a loss to Lehigh Valley, you had a chance to clinch second place, and you had at least one home game, but obviously the breaks didn't fall your way in that contest against the Steelhawks.
Yeah, going back to the Lehigh game, there was a lot of emphasis on that game with playoff implications. Obviously, we needed to win that game to clinch the number 2 seed and host a home playoff game. And for the most part of the game, we played particularly well. But we just didn't close out the game the way I would like to see. Disappointing loss. I feel like we win that game. It changes the whole complex of the playoffs, because we would host a home game and have an opportunity to play at home in front of our fans, and it may have changed the outcome of our season. But it is what it is. It was an inconsistent year. There's no way in my mind that I would have foreseen that a veteran ball club that we had coming into this season, going for a third consecutive championship, would go 7-6 and win 4 out of our last 10 games.
And in the playoffs, that 6th loss came in the playoffs on Monday, July 1st, 61-46 to the Alabama Hammers in Huntsville, Alabama. And as this is being recorded, and on Tuesday, July 9th, and on Monday, July 8th, which was last night, the Hammers won their first ever league championship, and they rolled past the Richmond Raiders 70-44 to win the PIFL title. So and you lost to Alabama, and it was the second straight loss. And you started 3-0, and then you lost three in a row, and then it seemed like things were never really the same.
Yeah, first of all, congrats to the Alabama Hammers, GM Jeff Stroud, head coach Dean Kokinos, and owner Jeff Knight on an excellent season. They did a 360, a turnaround from the previous years, and was able to go out there and take care of business and defeat the Richmond Raiders. So congrats to them. Back to us. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We started off extremely well, 3-0, and it just went downhill from there. Going back to the playoff loss against Alabama, the first quarter, we came out high momentum, played extremely well. It was 11-3 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Tito Hanna got a sack safety, which put us up 13-11. We get the ball back. There was a miscue in the offensive line, a blocking assignment, and then Wimbush fumbled the ball. They scored, which put them up 18-13. And it just kind of went downhill within the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. So before you know it, we were up 13-11 and was heading to the half down 31-13 within a matter of 3 minutes in the second quarter. So anytime you're down 31-13 at halftime, that's a huge deficit to overcome. We did show some resilience in the third quarter by making a comeback to cutting the lead to 34-25 with the ball in our possessions. We stopped them on fourth down. They attempted a field goal, and Levance Richmond got the ball and fumbled it, which I think that definitely crushed momentum because we had the opportunity to come in and score and cut the lead to 1 point. And like I said, after that, we were not able to recover at all and suffered a season-ending loss, 61-46.
And now let's take a look at some of the off-season moves. Obviously, a lot of changes in Antoine Savage, who was injured in a game against Louisiana in the end of this season. And already announced his retirement before that season-ending injury. He's gone. And got core receivers like Clinton Rafe out. Signed the retired defensive back Demetri Craig, and I think we also I think there are a few other key players. So obviously the makeup of the 2014 Albany Panthers will be much different.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Again, credit to those guys. They're warriors. They gave us blood, sweat, and tears from day one since 2010. So I commend them for their hard work, dedication, and effort. But, it's one of those things where we have to get younger. We have to go out and recruit and bring in some young talent. And that's something that we will do this offseason. And I still expect us to be competitive. And our goal is still to win a championship. So it looks like everyone will be chasing Alabama right now.
And let's move on to expansion in the Professional Indoor Football League. And let's see a lot of markets that are being considered. Birmingham, Alabama, to have a potential rival for the Hammers, Alabama Hammers up in Huntsville, Nashville, Tennessee, and the Louisiana Swashbucklers. Been one of the premier franchises in all of indoor football, regardless of league, for 9 seasons, included 3 straight championships, albeit in 2 different leagues in 2007, 2008, 2009. Recently folded, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other markets being considered at this point. So, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think expansion will be great. Something here in the next few weeks, month out, we'll find out what markets are serious about coming in. As some of the ones you mentioned earlier, Nashville, Birmingham, potentially Louisville. Some maybe Fayetteville. So there's a few markets that have been mentioned.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yes. So there's a few markets that's been mentioned. So we will see. What happens. Again, I think more markets that come in is key, but also it's important for these markets to come in and have stability. We don't want potential markets to come in and can't sustain and finish the season, because that's just not good for the league. So we'll see in the next coming weeks on what unfolds and go from there.
And ironically, let's see, Birmingham. Let's see, those markets you just mentioned, and either played host to Arena Football League. In case of Nashville, or in the case of Louisville, Birmingham, Fayetteville, AF2, and the former Cape Fear Wildcats moved to South Georgia 2005, and we're here for 5 seasons between 2005 and 2009. So it definitely will be interesting to see what goes on there.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's something to look forward to. I know the PIFL executives have been working extremely hard to make this league stronger and to build. Ideally, an even number team would be great. If you're looking at 8 or 10 teams, I think that would be good as far as scheduling. So, like I said, it's kind of up to the PIFL executives' hands to see, how expansion goes. But, looking forward to the opportunity and the challenges.
And would you like to share any closing thoughts to finish this season?
Yeah, it was a disappointing season, but I definitely want to thank all of our sponsors, all of our season ticket holders, all of our fans. I still believe we have the best fans in the PIFL. They supported us through a trying season. We had a lot of fans that would travel up to Columbus. We even had a few fans that made the playoff game in Huntsville, Alabama. So without them, there's no Albany Panthers. And on behalf of the Albany Panthers organization, I want to thank all of our fans, sponsors, and season ticket holders for sticking with us through this trying season. And I guarantee you we will be better next year.
Thank you, Will Carter, the general manager of the Albany Panthers. And wish you the best in this off season.
Thank you, sir.